official newspaper files of the early West record many stories of famous and notorious characters of that period. Harry Tracy, the notorious killer that terrorized the Northwest in the 90s. This vicious killer had a temper so violent and unpredictable that only criminals as depraved as himself dared team up with him.
Maybe we've got a chance to get through now.
Well, that engine's big enough to break through any roadblock.
Railroad detective. We had two of the most wanted bank and train robbers in America holed up in that shack. He and his pal, Dave Merrill. When they stole that train near Wallowa, Oregon, I was brought into the case.
I'll surrender.
Come out with your hands high and empty.
I'm Dave Merrill.
Where's Tracy?
He got out last night.
You're lying, Merrill. Tracy's in there waiting for one up to show himself.
What kind of a fool do you take me for? I'm not gonna get myself killed for Tracy or anybody else.
All right, start walking toward me.
I don't think I can make it.
Cover the doors and the windows.
Not lying. Tracy's gone.
He slipped by you guys. I didn't think he'd make it, but he did. He always does. Well, come on, get it over. Put the leg irons on me. Let's get it over with. I'm tired and hungry, and I need a doctor.
Feel like talking now, Merrill?
Well, what have I got to lose? Maybe the judge will go easy on me, huh?
I'm not making you any deals, Merrill. We'll get Tracy whether you tell us or not.
Well, if I'm going to be sent up, Tracy's going along, too. He said something about hiding out with a Mrs. Billings. Up near Kristine, Washington.
Take this, Jerry. All right, get him to jail. Tracy was on his way to see a family named Billings. That gave us another line of approach. I brought in Detective Frankie Adams, who had worked with me many times in the past. Frankie joined me, and we made our way to Kristine, Washington.
Just keep driving. Come on, a little more speed.
Yeah, we're picking up speed. Mostly downgrade from now on, Frankie. Driver's making up for lost time.
You're entitled to your opinion, but I think it's a runaway. Listen.
You're right. He's lost control of this thing.
What can you do, Matt?
Well, can't do anything. My arms are not that long. If we hit a curve going at this speed, we'll turn over. Come on, let's jump.
No, Matt.
Come on.
No.
Come on. Whoa!
Matt, the driver.
Yeah.
Mad is he? That's not our driver.
He's not the one we started out with, that's for sure.
It's Tracy.
Yeah, I know.
Is he it?
I'm afraid not. Harry Tracy was brought back to Oregon and tried with Dave Merrill. They were sentenced to the Oregon State Penitentiary for 20 years. Like all other convicts, the two men were taught a useful trade. 3 years passed quietly and uneventfully, and the terrifying name of Harry Tracy had all but been forgotten.
How's a plumber today?
Looking to the future, Dave. Looking to the future. I'm not here by accident, Dave. Somebody double-crossed me. When I get out of here, I'm gonna find out who. Stop staring and get busy. Some more oil on here.
When?
Tomorrow night.
How?
Over that wall for a home run. We need 2 pieces of pipe the same length and 2 shorter pieces. Now, come on, look busy.
Cut it out, Harry. No need to kill him.
As soon as Frankie and I arrived in alerted territory, we checked with the sheriff of Spokane, Washington, the area where the 2 convicts were last seen.
Last time we had a tip on him, he was on his way to hide out with a family called Billings. Matt, you don't think he could be headed in the same direction, do you?
Well, I doubt it, Frankie. Do you happen to know this Billings family?
Sure. Respectable people. The old man died about 2 years ago. The old lady lives down on the farm all by herself. Place is kind of run down.
As much as I think Tracy's too smart to go there, it might be a good idea to question this Mrs. Billings. How about it, Frankie?
I always get all the dull assignments. What are you doing that's so important?
Something equally unexciting. Writing a newspaper story. That is, if the newspapers around here will cooperate.
Well, they'd better.
Sheriff, the one thing that Tracy doesn't know about his great pal Merrill is that he's the one that told me where Tracy was heading that time he stole the coach. Now, it's a well-known fact that most criminals like to read about themselves in the papers. Oh, I've just been thinking. Tracy could learn the real reason why he was caught that last time. It might prove real interesting.
Oh, you've got the mail, Todd.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything besides the weekly newspaper?
Well, they look very interesting.
It's a bill from the grocer. You know, since you boys have been here, I've been so busy chatting and cooking, I haven't had time to read the paper.
You haven't missed anything.
Well, we never was much for reading around here anyway. Seems like a good time to roll.
This place.
You know, Dave, you've been jumpy ever since we got here. Why?
Why? Because we're on the dodge, that's why.
As long as the old lady doesn't know who we are, we're safe.
One of these days, that newspaper's gonna have pictures in it.
Yeah. This one has.
You better get rid of it, boy.
Read it, Dave. Go on, read it. You know, Dave, I always did wonder why there were 2 detectives on the stagecoach that day.
I didn't tell him, Harry. I swear I did.
You were dead set against coming here to Billings' place. Why?
Well, I just thought it best we keep on the move, that's all, Harry.
No. You thought the law was gonna be here, didn't you, Dave? Because you told the law I was gonna hide out here once before.
No, Harry. You're dead wrong.
No, you're
no, Harry.
Dead wrong.
Todd! Todd!
Always said it was too good to last. He's always worrying. Worried himself to death.
Where's your friend?
He's no friend. At least not while he was alive. Maybe it's different now. I'll have myself a good supper and then I'll leave. Better get the stove going, ma'am, and be sure and fix enough for me to take along.
Oh.
Who is it?
I don't know.
Better go out and see what she wants. Mrs. Billings. Be careful what you say.
Mrs. Billings?
Yes?
I'm Miss Adams, your census taker. May I come in?
Couldn't you some other time? My house is such a mess.
Oh, I don't mind. It won't take much time, really.
Well, Miss Census Taker, if you live through the day, I'll bet you don't push your way into another place you're not wanted.
Now, you'll have to leave, Harry. If she don't report back, they'll come looking for her.
I'm way ahead of you, ma'am. They won't miss her until tonight. By then, I'll be gone. Sit down. Go on and sit down.
Please, please, Harry.
Mrs. Billings, you better lead her horse and buggy around the back. Oh, Mrs. Billings, I said to lead the horse. Make one move to that buggy and I'll drop you, as much as I love nice old ladies. Well, Miss Census Taker, as long as we're waiting, you might as well get on with your job. And you can start with me. Name? Fill it in. You know who I am. Harry Tracy.
Address?
None. Tracy the Transit. My home's where I hang my gun. And if I can't share a barn with the rest of the rats, a haystack will do. Occupation. Robber and murder. I hope you're getting all this. You better be, because I'm not gonna be running much longer. But before I go, I want to be sure you got me in that census book of respectable people. Come in, Mrs. Billings. You better start setting the table. I suppose you wonder what the connection is between Mrs. Billings and me. I used to be a farmhand here at the Billings place when I first came out west. Must have been 10, 12 years ago, huh?
I can't believe it's the same boy. I just can't believe it.
I know you hate me, ma'am, and I wished it didn't have to be like that. You and your old man were the only two people who were ever good to me.
You were a young lad then. You even had a kind of charm, even though you were a bit wild.
Mrs. Billings, it's a man with the groceries. Better get him, but don't let him in.
Oh, boy. Mrs. Billings, grocery boy. Hi, Miss Billings. Here, Mrs. Billings. I'll take him in the house for you.
Oh, thank you, Chuck, but I can manage to.
Well, I always take him.
I know you do. Thank you very much, but I can manage.
But it's no trouble.
Thank you, Chuck.
Oh, all right. Here. You better sign for it.
And, Chuck, will you be sure to give Mr. Clayton my very best?
Yes, I will.
Thank
Mrs.
you,
Billings.
Chuck. Thank you very much.
But...
Toward evening, I was on my way back to the sheriff's office to check the latest bulletin.
Clark, I'm just coming after you. Take a look at this.
Harry Tracy. Where'd you get this?
Chuck over at the grocery store just brought it from the Billings place. Tracy's out there.
The Billings place. Did Frankie get back yet?
No, but I wouldn't worry too much. Tracy hasn't killed a woman so far.
Well, I don't know. You never know when he will. You got a horse for me?
Over at the livery stable. I got a posse waiting.
Let's go.
We'll move up alongside that fence.
You three men, cover the back of the house. I don't see Frankie. She came out in a buggy.
Before we make a move, I'll have to know who's inside.
Yeah.
Another piece of pie, Mr. Tracy?
Oh, no, Ma. I've had another piece at bust. It's getting dark, so I guess we better get going.
We?
Sure, you and me. Ma's gonna stay here and do the dishes, ain't you, Ma? You know, it's been a long time since I had a buggy ride with a pretty girl.
Harry, let her... No, I won't let you!
It was dark by the time we joined the posse. The men had been placed around the field, almost within touching distance of one another.
Hello, Matt.
Howdy, Sheriff.
He's holed up in that bunch of rocks over there. He won't surrender. We've got men all around the field, almost close enough to touch one another.
Are you going to move in tonight?
No, that'd give him too much of an advantage. He's probably got plenty of ammunition.
Tracy hadn't got a chance to get through, and I think he knows it, Sheriff.
That's right. You men take your place in the line. We'll move in just at dawn.
You think you got Tracy cornered? Come on in and get me! What's the matter, you yellow?
Well, you might as well make yourself comfortable, Miss Adams.
Thank you.
Anyone hit? Anyone hit?
Everything's clear over here, Sheriff.
All right, man, let's move in. Let's move in.
There he lay, cold in death and quiet at last. The manhunt for the most vicious killer of the West was over. After 52 days of sustained terror and vengeance, Harry Tracy died by his own hand on August the 5th, 1902.